in the meantime, let me show you one thing. I brought my iPad. I think I can show you from my device here something quite cool, something interesting, whereby, one moment, my passcode. So I had created this is like a car driving on the street, but the car is flying above the wheels. I don't know whether you can see, maybe you can see. This is like a car flying above the wheels, not so good, but there's various improvements, iterations of these ones. For example, the next one already on the wheels, but it's driving the wrong direction, has the red lights towards where it's driving. Another one, this one quite cool already. It's a quite cool car. This one, this is a one prompt. I've made one prompt. Please give me an HTML which has a parallax effect, a car driving towards the right, having the sunset environment. And I gave these prompts not to any of these OpenAI or Claude or these models, but I used these Morpheus open source models, which actually I even compared. This best outcome is using a totally free community produced open source AI model. And I mean, there's a few other ones, but now no use to bore you with that. Just to show you that these models, what we provide, really can get stuff done. Now, let me have a look at other points for here. Morpheus ecosystem, I'm going to use intro so that perhaps in these 2 weeks, which is coming now, or 2.5 weeks, the AI week, yeah, you can use, if you like, these Morpheus tools to build projects and then towards the end, win the hackathon, where myself and others will be the judges to look at your projects and even look at whether you are using sustainable AI tools. Because if you build a cool application just based on burning free credits, this might give you some minus points for the hackathon, right? So many of the tools now burn through a lot of credits as long as they are free. But once you need to start to pay, have a problem. And then this is a solution to that problem. So code providers, I mean, let me just shortly mention. Compute providers is the community members in the Morpheus community providing the computing power to run the models so that in the end, the user can still API call and connect to use them. There's community builders, which, for example, myself, I'm bringing this message out and explain how things work. Code providers is people who build the SDKs and how to use this Morpheus infrastructure. Capital providers is people who stake as in lock up tokens in order to participate in the fair token launch, because there's a token behind this one, a blockchain token behind Morpheus, which serves as the value transfer towards the people who improve Morpheus. People who improve the code are incentivized with tokens, and these tokens need to have a token of value. So there's a staking algorithm behind, which is a little bit out of now to explain the details. However, there is a model which allows the community contribution to be incentivized, which is normally a hard thing. When you have open source contributors voluntarily contributing, then what do they get out of it if they improve the system? So there are systems in place, which is called a fair token allocation, which later we can go into this if you want. But for the use of Morpheus, this is something just to know on the surface that there is a value transfer token involved in the Morpheus ecosystem. Okay, I think Hussein, go to the next slide first. So this decentralization is one point which I have. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I've already at APU spoken about this a few times in different occasions. It's a concept, this decentralization, which came along already even through the start of blockchain technology, accounting for Ethereum, Bitcoin, and this parallel system, which takes the power over monetary transactions away from the central organizations like the banks and national banks and all this. There came out even the movement of DeFi, right? Decentralized finance, which doesn't have a central point of failure, but is working on distributed computer networks following computer protocol code to arrange certain transactions between people. And this decentralization is a big leap forward to take power into the hands of community members, away from central points of failure and away from centrally owned infrastructure. And there is even now decentralized AI, short form DAI, as the counterpart to DeFi, decentralized finance. And DeFi, I mean, all of you heard about Ethereum and Bitcoin and Solana and all these technologies which don't require you to go to any institution and ask, please give me an account. Like all of you do with the Maybanks and CIB banks, you need to ask a big guy, please, this is my passport. We don't like you. Come back next week with your Visa sticker, endorse, whatever. They are the gatekeepers, the banks, right, for finance. At AI, we have gatekeepers now, the open AIs, the Claudes, and all these guys. But with DAI, we remove that gatekeeper. And I created these cool animations with one prompt without using any of these gatekeepers. Okay, decentralized, more or less explained, yeah? So yeah, why this decentralized AI? This access restrictions, API lock-in, I explained it, even the pricing, dependency, the single point of failure. I brought this one forward right now. And keep this in mind whenever you build projects that you might want to avoid these lock-ins, right? And this is towards the important technologies you would be using. Try not to, I mean, when you host an application with Vercel or you host with some of these tools which make hosting easy, do it for the testing phase. But in the future, you would want to run your own web server instance and run it on your own, so you're not depending on some provider giving you free credits or free access, and later you need to pay a price up to them to decide how much. So this decentralization plays exactly into this, and build inherit the quite limits. Yeah, and you are not limited by one provider. Next. Again. This is more or less repeating the same story to you guys to explain the difference and the importance of this decentralized AI. And when I heard about this concept only 2.5 years ago, it took me 6 months to be sufficiently brainwashed to fully dedicate myself to this cause and support, because there is even this movement towards the agentic AI, when the agentic AI controls our computer systems, does things for us. Right? You can run on your computers a system which does tasks with the OpenClaw and Hermes and other systems. But normally, these systems need the brain to be API connected, which is the LLM, the inference provider. And when this one is centralized, you give the full access to your digital life and your operations to that one provider. And now we show a way out of this dilemma. I want you just to understand this is the concept behind it, to be out of that lock-in and to connect to this distributed network. Okay, would you like to say something else to this now or after?
Next slide is mine.
Yeah, maybe we will ping a bit forward and backward to you. Like, I think, Hussein is another contributor to the Morpheus project, and he is a student at the APU University who is now for more than a year already working with us. And I think Hussein got it, started as an intern with us, and then now is working with us to spread that message. Let's Hussein have a few words now. Yes. Okay. Next slide or not yet?
Yeah, next.
Already, yes. Okay.
Hey guys, Renee already gave an introduction, so I just want to start this off and ask everyone, just how many people here know what AI inference is? Can you please raise your hand? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a good amount. Okay, you back there, could you tell me your definition? What do you think it is? A place that tries to host an LLM. Okay. Sort of, right? Sort of. Pretty much inference can be defined as when you use ChatGPT, when you use Claude, you use all of these different AI models, when you're getting that text response after querying the large language model, that is the inference, okay? Now, the reason we want to talk about this is there's different types of inference, right? We keep talking about DAI and what it is. Our entire thing is that you have bad inference, which is centralized, and you have good open source inference, which is decentralized. And that's what we want to talk about. So we can just go to the next one. Okay, so here it's more of a technical explanation on how Morpheus works exactly in its technical capabilities. Now, we say decentralized. What exactly does that mean? When you open up your ChatGPT and you ask it a question, that query goes into OpenAI's servers. OpenAI processes it, they take their telemetry, they take their email, whatever data they have about you, and they return the response. Now, what does Morpheus do? It anonymizes your requests, basically. So usually with ChatGPT, that company would know that, hey, Hussein asked me a question about, let's say, motorbikes in Kuala Lumpur, right? Next thing you know, they're selling that data to advertisers, and I'm seeing on my YouTube later, motorcycle advertisements. So pretty much the issue here is your data is being sold, right? And what Morpheus does is it anonymizes the requests. Usually, the way these things work, you can either use the cloud service, which is ChatGPT, use it for free, or pay a cheap monthly subscription, or you need to invest a large amount of money, get like your own hardware, a Mac Mini, or some sort of laptop or a PC of yourself, and you host it on that PC itself. Obviously, nobody wants to do all that work, so a lot of people end up just using ChatGPT and Claude, but you end up giving your data away. But we basically offer a third option here. The third option here is basically Morpheus. How this works is it anonymizes every single request. So there's no central server. Morpheus isn't a company. There's no Morpheus Private Limited. It goes through the blockchain. There is no username, email, or anything like that. You spend crypto more tokens. So it's not even linked to your debit card, let's say, because your debit card is linked to your name, maybe. So you basically spend crypto, which is fully anonymous. The request is fully anonymous, and you get your inference back. And that is basically clean inference because no tracking was done. Nobody knows about what you asked. I can ask my decentralized model that's hosted on the Morpheus network as many things about motorcycles as I want, and I'm not going to be shown any advertisements. That's pretty much the benefit. And how it works is if you have a Web3 wallet and let's say you have $20 worth of MOR tokens, those $20 are staked and you are basically placing them on hold, and those $20 worth of MOR tokens can be used to get inference. So those $20 worth of MOR tokens are sitting in the stake pool, and the Morpheus network gives you one of the nodes, okay? One of the compute nodes that then returns inference. The way this works is, for example, if you would like, maybe you have 10 PCs sitting around at home, you connect them to the compute marketplace, and suddenly you have hundreds of thousands of people around the world that you don't know, they're completely anonymous. They are using your machine's compute to access the inference. And you get paid in MOR tokens, you don't know who bought it, and they get their inference, and they have no idea who you are, and there's absolutely no telemetry. The entire system is completely anonymized. Now, we can go to the next one.
I want to add one point here.
Yeah.
I want to add one point. With this Morpheus staking algorithm for the MOR token, it is not that somebody who is providing the hardware gets these MOR tokens of value, which are exchangeable for US dollar and for Bitcoin and whatever you would exchange. It's not one person gets these tokens from the person who uses it, right? It's not that you said it wrongly, but I want to clarify, because this one of the beautiful concepts here, which took me months to understand it. You wouldn't get the full detail today unless you are a super genius. But the point is that people who use the system would have a small amount of MOR tokens, and $10 or whatever of MOR tokens in their digital wallet, and provide this one to lock it up for the time of using the Morpheus decentralized AI system, lock it up. It's called staking, staking, staking. You lock it up, staking towards this provider, and the provider will see, oh, somebody locked up their tokens. And for the time of that locking up, the provider gets a small allocation of freshly emitted, because in the blockchain protocol is an emission scheme, freshly emitted tokens, which allows for the usage of the system and to pay for the electricity and use and have an income on the side of the provider. But the one who's using it and put this $10 of MOR tokens into that machine, after finishing the AI job, takes back that amount. The staking beauty is that one guy has the tokens, stakes it, uses it, and takes back. So you don't lose anything. And the other guy sees somebody staked to my node, to my system. I allow him to use, and then the guy unstaked, take back his money, and I don't allow to use anymore. So it's a temporary exchange of staking, using, taking back. And this concept means that actually the one who's using the system gets the free inference, but must have a certain amount of Morpheus tokens stake, right? I think this concept, maybe I thought it's important to at least touch a little bit on it, but as I said, it took me months to get all the details. Yeah. Okay.
Just to really hone in on that point, when you pay for a regular software as a service subscription, like maybe ChatGPT,
Money is gone.
$20, it goes into ChatGPT. You're net negative minus 20 from your bank account. When you use something like Morpheus, you park the $20 worth of tokens into the provider.
Yes.
And then you use the inference, and you're done using the inference, you take back the $20, your net loss is almost nothing. It's nothing, effectively. That's pretty much how it works. And you might be thinking, how is the provider getting paid? Because you just took all the money back.
Yes.
That's because how the protocol works is when the money is parked, the provider is rewarded slightly. They get a small emission. It's in the math, it's hard coded, nobody can change it.
Yeah. Next.
Yep.
Yes.
Over here, we have the compute and inference API. Basically, we have this thing called app.mor.org, right? If you guys want to use this decentralized inference, there's a few options we have, basically. There's, you could say, levels of anonymity that you can get depending on how advanced you are. So let's say you're new to this system and you're like, okay, I'm not too sure what's going on. I only know going into ChatGPT, getting an API key, connecting it to my whatever OpenClaw setup or something, and that's done, right? I don't know about this peer-to-peer. I don't know about MetaMask or Web3 integration. You just want to do that. You can do that. You can go app.mor.org. You can get an API key. They give you $10 of free credits. Let's say you've used it and you're like, okay, this makes sense. The next step from there would be to get a Web3 wallet, buy like a few, maybe $30 worth of MOR tokens, and you can then use that as inference. Usually when you have something like Claude or maybe ChatGPT, you'd always notice that you have tokens, you run out of the tokens, and then your plan stops working. It's like, wait 6 hours, wait till 2 a.m., then we're only gonna have more. With the way the Morpheus staking algorithm works, if you buy $30 worth of MOR tokens, let's say we want to use one of these models for coding, right? You park the $30 and it gives you 15 minutes of using GLM. GLM is one of the open source models. You can think of it like Claude Sonnet or Claude Opus. It gives you 15 minutes of using GLM. You parked the $20, right? 15 minutes and it renews the session. So let's say you wanted to use it for like 24 hours straight. You're just sitting on the PC. You wouldn't run out of your plan usage or anything like that. You can sit, have the session renewed infinitely every 15 minutes. You can absolutely abuse GLM until it runs out. It's never going to run out, basically. That $15 or $20, it's going to keep on renewing. And let's say you're done. Okay, you spent 24 hours, you're on the PC, you want to sleep, right? You take that $20 straight back out, you end the session, and all of the money you had is right back into your crypto wallet, and you got maximum usage. So it's two benefits here. You don't run out of usage, and you keep your money here. You basically lose nothing. So if you see here, it says developer send request to the Morpheus API. That's called app.more.org. If you are using peer-to-peer, which is completely decentralized, that sends it through the blockchain itself. It queries the smart contract, and it doesn't go through any servers or any website or no app.org. Over here, compute providers host models and serve inference. That's basically your people who have a bunch of spare computers and they're hooking them up into the decentralized network so they can give it to random people so they can use compute, and that provider person can get rewarded. OpenAI style apps can connect with minimal changes. The API key system's identical. If you have a software running on OpenAI or Claude or anything, you just change the API key, that's it, and the endpoint. And model availability, of course, that's as always, and the API layer makes the Morpheus easier for builders. Okay, good to go. Builders,
Yes, here we are.
yeah. Builders and use cases. So pretty much what we're trying to do here is Morpheus is coming as a decentralized inference provider, right? And maybe I said something like, okay, this is better if you want privacy, right? But there is business use case models for a benefit like this, right? It's not just that, hey, we have more privacy. You could build a software where you pitch your advantage as the fact that you use Morpheus. You can pitch yourself as having an advantage that, hey, these other guys are using centralized AI providers, right? So if we have all of these examples, like let's just look at internal company knowledge assistant. You join a new company and they're like, hey, we have NDAs, right? And you have some new intern and he uploaded the entire code base into Claude, and next time somebody's using it, all of the company's internal code base is leaked. Claude has full access to it. That's a big issue, right? In that case, if you want to build an internal company knowledge assistant, using something like decentralized AI is very beneficial. And if you want to build your own software as a service, that is basically like, hey, companies, your employees are using ChatGPT and Claude, you're leaking your data. Use my decentralized assistants and give that to your employees, and your company's data isn't going to be leaked, and you can charge them a $10 a month subscription. And you got a business model right there, and you have a use case, right? We can look through even more over here. Let's say Web3 wallet assistant. In your Web3 wallet, you have private keys, a secret recovery phrase, maybe you have thousands of dollars of crypto and savings sitting in there. You don't want to send that to a centralized provider. That might be leaked, maybe some engineers looking at it, a million things can go wrong, right? And let's say you want to automate stuff. You don't want to go on Google and buy and book a hotel and do all of that. You build an assistant. The assistant has access to your crypto wallet. So you ask the assistant, hey, book me a hotel in Hong Kong. I'm going there from this date to that date, and this is my budget. He finds the bookings, selects one, asks you for confirmation, you press the button, and he spends the money directly from your crypto wallet, and you got the booking done. You don't need to do any work. You did it all from your phone just by asking the assistant. And you don't have to worry about your recovery phase or your money getting leaked or in doing things like crazy. You just put a hard limit that on every spend, you need to manually approve at the end. And everything else is pretty much handled already. We have down here this featured project, the Morpheus skill for Everclaw. How many people here have heard of OpenClaw? Can you please raise your hands?
OpenClaw, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a lot of people. Everyone here's used OpenClaw. Now, if you guys remember, you set up OpenClaw. How many people have actually used OpenClaw? Set it up with an API key. 1. Okay.
2.
2. Okay.
Okay. 3.
Okay.
4. Hey, get more.
How long did it take for your usage quota to finish? Very fast, right? Now, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very fast, pretty much. That's very accurate. $1 finishes, because OpenClaw is huge. It controls your entire PC. So you might be thinking, I don't want to spend $1,000 on tokens. So that just so I can automate stuff with OpenClaw. What should I do? That's where you have this Morpheus EverClaw skill come in. What this thing does, it basically hooks into OpenClaw, and you can connect your MOR wallet to the OpenClaw that you have, the OpenClaw setup. Basically how it works is you have your Web3 wallet, you import the private key into it, you make a third one basically, and you put $50 or whatever, how much you want, MOR tokens inside it, and we use the same peer-to-peer session renewing technology where you can continue using the decentralized inference for as long as you want, just using the skill. So previously, what would have just been 15 minutes of usage and you spent like $5 already, you can spend this thing, have it running 24/7 non-stop, 7 days a week, and you would be on a net negative of 0.01 perhaps. This makes using OpenClaw and completely managed autonomous systems extremely cheap and easy. So if any one of you want to get started on this, we have a workshop as well coming up in this AI week where we're going to show you guys how to do that. So you can build anything basically. Let's say you want to have an agent that looks at your Moodle automatically every single day, sees if there's new assignments, automatically builds them with AI and submits them automatically. Completely automatic, and you has to do it without any interference from you while you can go and sleep or go out or do whatever you want. So we'll have that coming up in our subsequent workshops. But till then, we can go to the next one. And
It's the more tokens. Definitely.
yeah. And I'm going to pass it back to Mr. Renee, and he will take over.
Okay. But before we go to my next slide on these tokens, I'm running OpenClaw quite successfully. I want to tell you there is one interesting skill I installed. The skill is called Peekaboo. Peekaboo skill inside OpenClaw gives my OpenClaw AI agent full vision access to my screen, right? So I'm running this on my Mac Mini. And the cool thing is that really what Hussein said, Moodle, one thing, right? But what I'm doing is that I'm now actually giving the access to do this reporting of potholes in Selangor through the complaints portal of the Selangor Majlis in my region. So I just snap a picture of a pothole, and then I have my Peekaboo screen control form of the Selangor Majlis Perbandaran place where I'm living. So submit, fill in the form, log in, click here, click there, do this, do that, upload the picture, and get an email back to my OpenClaw systems email. It has its own email, and then just read that email and tell me back through Telegram, okay, this is the case number. I will let you know later once Majlis has followed up on that pothole. A week or 2 weeks later, pothole is fixed, and I get a message in my Telegram from my agent about the thing being done. Because my agent clicks and does the thing for me on my Mac Mini using this essentially free AI inference. There is unlimited number of use cases we can do, but it's up to your imagination, and I hope that this hackathon will help you to come up with great use cases, maybe outside of getting your assignments done fully autonomously. If you, maybe, I don't know whether you can win the hackathon with something like that, yeah? If I may please have your attention again, we will just have another 20 minutes, and then that's it for today. Hussein, next slide. So there is the point about this complication here, which is the blockchain element, the MOR token. This MOR token is the topic which is not that easy to digest or to understand. Please, later, if you're interested, go to the website, either morpheus.asia or the main website, mor.org. We even have a QR code at the end. You scan and you can connect and see the link tree and all these things. But I want to mention one point. When we talk about this MOR token staking, where you will need to lock up or stake a few tokens for getting the right to use the infrastructure, get to the right to do inference. The point there is that this is it sounds like a perpetuum mobile, right? Like a machine which never stops, and who pays for what? How is it possible if somebody puts money, takes it back, and can use, and the other guy still gets an income? How does it work? I just want to give you another glimpse into how does this work, and especially to see how would this magic, where does it go, right? Whereby the point is that this project, the Morpheus project, has daily emissions. Daily emissions means that there are freshly, like inflation, like ringgit or dollars. Every day is a printing of currency happening, which goes along with the development in that nation in general, right? They say that there's goods and items produced in a nation, so they are producing money to somehow keep the value of money and the products in sync. For the Morpheus system, there is an inflation happening too. Morpheus is printing Morpheus tokens, emitting them, and giving them towards the contributors to the project. And now, if you are a compute provider providing inference, which is there, running the GPU farm, running the strong computers, running the models for people to use it. So you are running this, and people want to use your infrastructure, means they stake Morpheus tokens towards a marketplace system which auto routes the staking to the providers. You don't need to worry much about this. But it is somebody locking up tokens in the end towards you, which gives you, based on the percentage of how much of total usage, staking, locking is to you, you get so much percentage of the daily emissions of tokens. So if you were the only provider of compute power, you get the whole daily emissions, which is a few thousand of MOR tokens per day. If all of these tokens go to you, this is like now is a few $1,000s of value would go to you per day. But there is multiple providers, so they share this. Based on the allocation of how much you provide, so much you get on emissions. But then you might say, hey, if inflationary tokenomics, that token economics, means there are new tokens printed, means the value should go towards zero, right? If anybody holds tokens, and Hussein explained that you have a few tokens worth $10, you stake it to the system, you use inference, you can take it back. And you should have approximately $10 still left of the token. But if you keep it staked a long time, a week or a month, and run AI things, and then you want to take it back, your fixed amount in MOR tokens, 50 tokens or 20 tokens. One token now maybe $2 worth like this. So you take the same amount of Morpheus tokens back. And whether the value of these tokens is up or down depends on the whole worldwide development of this Morpheus project. This means that if there's a fixed number of users of this Morpheus worldwide project, fixed number, the project doesn't grow in adoption, doesn't decline, fixed number of users, 10,000 users using Morpheus. And every day is new token emission happening. This means that the token value will drop slightly, every day will drop a bit. And then the money you take back after a week or two of using the inference, still the same 25 Morpheus tokens which you had put in, but the value will be less. This is why we bet on AI taking off, and DeAI taking off, Morpheus taking off and going higher in usage. So there are even speculators who say, hey, I really believe in AI, this is the future. I really believe in decentralized AI being a true alternative. So they buy tokens and just speculate, buy 100 tokens, keep them and wait. Hey, in 1 year they should double or triple in price. It's a speculation somebody might want to do. Other people say, at least I think the price won't go down. So the risk is if somebody puts in now and buys $20 of Morpheus tokens to put them into this staking to get free inference, maybe your $20 after a year become 40, become 100, or become 10, because it's a free floating based on the success or the failure of the project. And this is what is the community working on, to create value, to make this project valuable. If a project doesn't have value, it should die, right? If no value, why should anybody waste time with it? But when a project has value and maintains or increases value, there will be more and more users and contributors coming to increase the value. And that's what was my reading, studying of that project. when I saw, wow, this makes sense. This economics of the model of this Morpheus system makes sense. That's why I'm dedicating my time. Why I'm contributing to this one, mostly sweat energy. And I believe that we will see a bright future of AI powering many fields of our life, and especially DAI growing in adoption. And Morpheus being a significant contributor to this. Similar like the other sponsor we have of this AI week, the Shoots protocol is another player in the decentralized AI field, another friend in this field, and together, them and us, we are growing the decentralized AI sector. And there is a maximum supply, is a fixed number of Morpheus tokens with an emission curve, which incentivizes that if you now contribute your compute power or you now use the system, you accumulate these Morpheus tokens, you would have more benefit now than in the future because it's an emission curve, which over the next decades will be less and less emission. And if less emission, this means that the price per token would inherently even increase or appreciate. So the main utility of this Morpheus token is the staking, the access of this percentage of how much do people in total stake, how much do you stake, and how much do you get right of the rate limiting quota access to the system. And others earn based on their pro rata, how many people use their system to earn the Morpheus token income. The capital participation is something what is powering the engine of the market value of MOR tokens. This is something, if you want to learn more about, I encourage you can look up on mor.org website, how does the capital participation work. But it's important that this MOR token needs to have liquidity at the online crypto exchanges or the decentralized exchanges mostly. And this is powered by various currency pairs. And there's a capital provided to provide the liquidity, and then even the capital providers obtain a right to receive Morpheus rewards. But that is not so much the focus of your projects now, because for the hackathon you should build cool projects and use sustainable inference. Sustainable mainly in the economic way. Sustainable. If we were to start talking about the green and the eco sustainability of AI use, that's a whole different topic again, which takes another hour or two where I can share my views on that. But economic sustainability is something what we are looking for to provide to you guys. And we are preparing some guides and another workshop hands-on how to show you how to tap into this ecosystem, especially with Hussein and Aslam, our friend. We are right now working out some guides for you for the different systems on Linux, Mac, and Windows, how to tap into this inference system to build projects in a sustainable way. Hussein, do you think we move on to the next step now?
Let's do it.
Yes, I pass back to you. Is that okay? Or, yes. Okay. And then, Aslam, if there any special shout out to say how and where and when we will share our guides, how should we do that? Through the communication channel, because all of you are registered. Usually we would like to share it via either Telegram or WhatsApp. Let us check how maybe Hussein, if you can help to organize, or with my friends Harry or others, we can maybe see how to connect with the audience later to share some other guides. There's actually a QR code on the very last slides, which we are sharing. Thanks for reminding me. And that QR guides you to a Telegram group or the link tree, so you can stay connected, and we will share out what you need to get started within a few days. Is it? Or only during the next workshop? This week. Okay, this week. Okay, I pass to you first, Hussein, again. Okay.
You can hold it.
Okay, or you are, yeah. It's like a quiz coming up. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Excuse me, I have a question.
We are taking questions now or later, is it? Maybe while Hussein is figuring out, we can take questions. You can ask the question in short form. I will repeat it into the microphone. Yes.
So my question was that can it blockchain a bit better lot? At present, if you remember the smart contract, like when I first used Ethereum, I had to put more gas, like gas fee to burn. like it has more latency. So like now we are used to like Claude Codex and GPT, they are really fast and they work really fast. And I am guessing or I am assuming this Morpheus system when someone I am trying to link someone compute power, it will have more latency, right? So how do you actually
Okay.
get around it?
Yes. Okay. So you're asking about this connection between blockchain technology and this AI inference when we need to have a quick latency time. How can we wrap blockchain transactions into the same cycle and not lose time, right? So not every inference request triggers a blockchain transaction. The blockchain transaction is for opening a session, which gives you the right to send inference request API calls. So the first opening of the session, yes, it is attached to your opening your channel to do requests. That one has the staking and gives you the approval token. Now you can go. But then every subsequent request doesn't have this added latency. And your second part of the question was regarding the gas fees for blockchain transactions, right? And yes, there are fees, which is actually an anti-spam mechanism of blockchains to have fees attached for people not to spam the ledger, right? And mostly this system uses the base blockchain, which has an almost negligible fee of transaction fee. But there is a micro fee, which is a small part of a cent, right? A fee, which need to be paid, but it is handled by the system in the background invisibly for the user upon opening and closing of the session. It is there, yes. Okay, I think I have you now explain and go through this one.
Yep.
You, okay, yeah? Okay, good, yes. Okay. Hussein, okay.
Yes.
So guys, we have this quiz coming up. If everybody can scan the QR code, that would be great. And we just want to look at everybody here's understanding today of DAI and Morpheus. Okay, so right now we have 58. How many total people are there? Does anyone know? How much is that? Oh, you're scanning it. Okay. Any number? Around 70. Okay, we're up a 7 more. Maybe give it a little more. Who's not done it yet? 64, 65, and 66. It's okay, still going up. Give it a minute more. Anybody else? Okay, I think we're good to go.
Means start.
Start, yeah. So,
还有就是可以这样子
yeah.
What is the reason not accusing of using with permission?
So we got 4 people who got the first one correct. What is Morpheus best described as? A chatbot app, open source, decentralized AI protocol, social media. I think this is pretty easy. I don't know who got that incorrect. I mean, come on, guys. Which 4 contributor groups are central to Morpheus? 15, 16, correct. Everybody's got this. Okay, I think there's a pretty obvious answer there as well. Code, compute, capital, and community. Only 3 incorrect. Okay. Mining, trading, banking. I suppose some people selected that. What are the 2 main things developers usually change to connect an OpenAI style app to Morpheus? What does this mean? When you connect a AI application, how does that application get inference? It needs an endpoint and it needs an API key to prove you're authenticated to get it from that endpoint. So OpenAI would be something like api.openai.com. Morpheus would be like app.more.org. So then api.openai would have that URL and the API key. App.more.org would have that and its own API key. So base URL API key. That is the answer for this one. What is the Morpheus inference marketplace for? Buying event tickets, connecting users with providers that host AI models, selling phones, hosting cloud gaming. Okay. 51 correct, 2 incorrect. I think almost everybody selected B here. Which is a fair advantage of decentralized AI? 5 incorrect here, less dependency on one provider, always cheaper, always faster, no technical complexity. 7 incorrect. Okay, why is it not always cheaper? Because prices fluctuate. That's pretty much it. I mean, let's say we see massive growth of AI, perhaps OpenAI itself has managed to make it extremely cheap. Market conditions change basically, so it's not exactly accurate to say that it's always cheaper, nor is it always faster. Technological advancements, new companies come up. Maybe we're the fastest right now. Maybe we're the cheapest right now. A year from now, it goes up and down. The answer here is the first one. Less dependency on one provider. And we have, what does OpenAI compare with? Being the Morpheus API concept. 10 incorrect. It only works inside ChatGPT. OpenAI Scout tools can connect with minimal changes. It's owned by OpenAI, not the API. The answer here is the second one. Why is it not? It only works inside ChatGPT because ChatGPT is a website, guys. It's just one company. If Morpheus only worked inside ChatGPT, we would not be decentralized. And it is not owned by OpenAI. OpenAI made an open source standard, so it's free for everybody to use this format. And it cannot use API keys, obviously balls, we have our own API key. What is the maximum MOR supply stated by Morpheus? So we have 49 correct, 20, 21, if you take 20, correct? Unlimited, 100 million, 21 million, 42 million. If I remember correctly, it's 42 million, right? Yes. It is, the reason for this is side of the, if anybody here is familiar with Bitcoin, Bitcoin has a finite number of blocks that can be minted. So basically in, I don't know, 200 years, there would be no more Bitcoins left to be mined, essentially. So it's on a timer. Morpheus has a similar thing. So if I remember correctly, it's like 50 years or something. All of the Morpheus tokens that are ever going to be printed will be printed. What this does is it's a tokenomic measure. So as more time passes, of course, we have more tokens. But, and the way, obviously, if you print more money, the money loses its value, right? But in this case, we say that we're going to print lesser and lesser and lesser, and there's lesser left. So even though we have more tokens, we create scarcity, which drives the price up slightly, and it keeps the buy pressure there. So we can go down. Which assets are examples of supported staking or capital assets mentioned by Morpheus? So we have stake fee, Rappi, USDC, USDT, gold, silver, oil. Okay, everybody got this.
So many correct. Yeah, so many correct.
Yeah. They know it's not only Bitcoin.
Yeah, yes. Okay, next one.
Five major publishers recently sued Meta over AI trading. 65 correct. Okay. Copyrighted books and journals. Then I create video games, try to ban laptops. Okay, yeah. I think everybody knows the first one. It's pretty famous. They use copyrighted journals.
Yes. Now last one.
What did a recent lawsuit accuse Google of using without permission for AI training? A lot of wrong answers over here. So we have people's voice recordings, sensitive HR data, text navigation data, or restaurant menus. Now, even I don't know the answer to this. People's voice recording, that's the one. A lot of people got it wrong here. So, I mean, again, you know, every one of these doing lawsuits, issues, you might think, oh, why would Google do that, right? Google shouldn't be doing stuff like that, but we need to look at the root problem. Google is a company and they value profit, right? If you have a company that values profit, sometimes that takes precedent over users' privacy needs and the law, right? So that is why you need a future that is decentralized. A future that is centralized is gloomy and dark. There's a few huge companies and they are maximally profit driven. A decentralized future is where each individual has some sovereign capacity to take some ownership on what they're going to do, what data they want to give out, what parts of themselves they want to keep to themselves.
That's
Over here, we got a 89% class accuracy, which is pretty decent. So I guess everybody's paying attention today.
let's pause.
89%.
We pause or end it and then see leaderboard. We pause it first.
Yeah.
Pause. We
Pause.
pause acceptance.
Pause.
Upgrade now. No, cannot.
Okay, no.
Maybe we see
Let's do
leaderboard
the
first.
leaderboard, yeah.
Leaderboard.
So Daniel,
Who's Daniel?
who is Daniel? Can Daniel raise your hand, please?
Who's Daniel?
Daniel,
Oh, yeah.
Daniel, we have a present for you.
It is body size.
Yes. How are you, Daniel?
Yo, proud winner. We need to give you a.
It's oversized, you know?
I like it oversized.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, yes, sure, yes. Daniel won, yay. One more, this lady, take a good picture, yes. Yes, wow. Nice. Good. Okay,
All right.
good, come back. Good.
Wait, premise. Premise?
Premise,
Premise.
yeah.
Please
Hey.
come.
Yes, back. Over.
Yes.
S, we have all size, we have S size, small size, or we have XL size. Or do
You wanna, everyone to see your muscles, or do you wanna hide it up?
Bigger one, bigger one. Bigger one is the extra one. Cool. Okay. Photo with you. Photo. You are the winner. Wow, Mr. Premise. Is really your name, Premise? Yes. Good. What's your name?
And we have another Daniel.
Okay, sure.
Danielle.
And yeah.
We have Danielle. Please raise his hand. Where? Oh, hi.
Yes. Oh, so many. Hey, Renee over here. Oh.
Yes. We are gonna pick the bigger ones.
XL, normal XL. We have, and we don't have M and L. S and XL. I think XL. Let's do it. If you want that, yes, we can, yeah. Sure. Okay, nice. Yes. Okay, good. And Renee 22. I lost 22, Renee. Renee 22.
Okay. Can we go up? I think these are who finished it.
Done. Three, done.
Three, okay.
The rest we don't get.
Yeah. Yeah, the score, right?
Score, yeah.
Because they finished it fast.
Yeah, they finish faster,
Yeah. Okay.
What's anti-cheating do?
Oh, cheaters.
Students want.
They do tab switches.
Oh, 30 students with alerts. Tab switches.
Oh,
Guys, who's cheating? Who's cheating, guys?
13 students with alerts. Tab switches. Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, good.
pretty
Okay.
smart.
We can see the name? No, we cannot.
No, you gotta upgrade, I think.
Probably yes. Unlock access.
Is
Me.
15.
Okay. I think we go.
Now
We end
let's
this
go
one.
back to the
End. We
slide. Yeah.
end. Okay.
Where was this one? Right. Full screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Yes,
Right.
okay, you go.
Guys, we mentioned the QR codes that we had. This is our main link tree. You can find our Telegram group chat. You can find our website. You can find Renee's Twitter. We have Eric as well, his Twitter. You can find our blog post. everything you need to know about Morpheus, you can find inside of this link tree. You can go through it, bookmark it, save it for later. But for today's workshop, we also have this second one, which is some feedback. Now, obviously, this AI week, it's pretty long, right? We got a few weeks of this, few more days. This isn't going to be our first and only session. So we just want to find out in our subsequent sessions, when people have their laptops out and we're actually building things, what level are you guys at? Have you guys worked with virtual machines before? Do you guys have an iRAN maxed out gaming laptop? What should we expect? Just so that we have an idea on how to make a good experience for you guys when we have an actual technical workshop. So for that, if you could please fill in the feedback form and just let us know each of your individual capabilities and your hardware that you have. That's pretty much what we want to do.